Hello, Go Indie Now creatives. I am Christina Rienzi, thriller author and coach, here to talk to you today about the roller coaster of author life. This is a topic I could talk about for hours, but I only have a few minutes, so I'm going to try and fit everything in that I think will be helpful in terms of gaining the right mindset and perspective to successfully thrive in the roller coaster of author life, which there definitely is a roller coaster and many, many ups and downs for all of us. So just like in life, there are ups and downs, and just like in your story, right? There are times where there's worry and fear, and then there are times where there is some exhilaration and euphoria going on as well. This happens on a roller coaster, this happens in life, this happens in our story, but really in author life, it's important that we gain perspective on it and we also get the right mindset so that we can deal with it. So we're in this for the long haul, right? Creatives, we're here to stay. So let's talk a little bit about that. So some of the ups in author life are pretty simple to identify, right? It's when you get a positive review, you get an acceptance of some kind, whether it's your story gets published in a magazine or an online place, whether you get an agent, you get a publisher, whatever it is you're looking for, what you're trying to accomplish, both in the indie and other spaces. When something happens that you want to happen, it's an up. So we can really appreciate that and we get excited about that. Also, if we have a contest win, sales, a ranking, you get some great feedback from your editor. Beta readers love your story. There are a ton of things that can be considered an up. My personal favorite is when I'm writing and I'm in the flow, I'm in the zone, and I'm really loving the story. And of course, the ultimate up for me is the end, typing the end, which I know is a lot for a lot of an up for most of us, I should say. Downs could be things like lack of sales, maybe a rejection letter, a rejection of an opportunity, getting some feedback from your editor or beta readers that isn't great. Could also be something like a distraction, possibly writer's block, blank page, or what we'll talk about next month is comparisonitis. So comparing yourself to someone else's success, that could be a down, and you could look at it that way. And a lot of these things are, again, perspective and mindset, right? So if there are too many ups, and that sounds like that could be, it couldn't be a bad thing, right? But if we're always positive about every single thing that happens and we're not looking for opportunities to grow and improve, we might not be paying attention, right? We may have an overinflated sense of self, sense of our work, and not allowing ourselves room to grow and improve. And quite honestly, at every level, there's room for improvement and growth. Even at Stephen King's level, he'd probably tell you that too. There's always opportunity to change and grow and get better. So if we're just feeling great about everything, I mean, that's not a bad thing, but there are opportunities to learn. And so we do have to pay attention to those downs, which is what I'm going to get into now. So on the flip side of it, too many downs, it's not fun anymore. Writing becomes a chore, it becomes a job, it becomes stress, and that's not what this is about. Creativity is about finding that inner peace, that inner euphoria. We all love to express ourselves. That's why we're writers. And so if it isn't fun, what are we doing? Why are we here? If we've lost our passion. And I think that's part of it. When there's a down, we want to ask ourselves, why are we writing? What am I looking for to get out of, what am I looking to get out of this? Maybe I want to ask you, is this still for me? Do I still want to be in the game here? Or maybe you're just putting too much of yourself into the writing world and not balancing with other things in your life that are so important. So those are the kinds of things to think about. In terms of the ups and the uptime, right? We are productive, we're having fun, we are dreaming, we're believing in the impossible, we're confident, we're positive, we're driven, we're resilient, and all those great things are happening to us. And we can't forget to celebrate those wins. Really important when we're in the up, celebrate it. Oftentimes we look and go, oh, great review, and move on with our lives. Like, no, celebrate that. These are really important. There's not a lot of wins for us. I'm not going to say that we don't all get them, but my point is with the win comes sometimes a loss. And so when there's a win, it's really important that we celebrate it and we get excited about it, because that's what's going to strengthen us and prepare us for when the down comes. And there, like anything in life, when there's an up, there's a down, and we want to be prepared for it. We want to be strong for it. So in the downtime, where we struggle. We are doubting ourselves. Our inner critic is really prevalent then. That's something we have to pay attention to. How are we talking to ourselves? What negative things are we saying? And are they true? Are they just, a way for us to not do the work, to procrastinate, to beat ourselves up because it's easier, instead of just really questioning what it is we could do to improve? How could we make this an opportunity? And I'm not trying to say don't acknowledge the down, because there are real downs. There's rejections, there's negative reviews, there's things that happen that hurt us, and as they should, because that means it means something to us, our writing, right? We want it to mean something. We want to feel something about it. But I think where we find the opportunity is in being realistic and recognizing, is this a real down? Is it something I need to pay attention to and do something about, or is this just something I got to brush off and move on from? And you'll know if that's a big thing or not. You'll know. And trust your gut on that. And in the down times, these are opportunities for us to question things. We get real clear about what's important to us and what isn't, what we want and what we don't want when things are going badly. Like, do we really want to be a writer? Like, what do we want? And we just get really clear about it. And then we can say, yeah, absolutely. You know what? I'm not going to let this rejection get me down, this 1-star review get me down. It is important that I stay focused, that I persevere. And this is a time for you to be determined and sort of concentrate on what you can do to keep going and to better yourself in this author life. Because we're, like I said, where there's an up, there's a down, but the positive part is when there's a down, there's nowhere to go but up. So you're going to come back up. It's going to happen again. So I try to think in terms of the story, right? So we all know how story works and what our hero goes through, the obstacles they go through, what they have to overcome, how we make it really hard for them, right? To have a success, to get to the end of their story and to triumph. This is what we're going through. And if we look at ourselves as our hero and we think about what would our hero do? What would we want our character to do? Would we want our character to wallow in sorrow and not pick that, laptop back up and get back to work? If our hero doesn't do that, they're not going to reach the end of the story. They're not going to grow and change and develop, right? So if we think like our hero, we will, recognize what the issues are. We will appreciate the down for what it is. It can either be a way to strengthen us and to give us something to learn and grow from, or it can be kind of a challenge. Like, hey, what are you going to do about this? Are you going to keep going? Or are you going to give up? And if we look at the down as a trainer, as sort of a challenge, questioning our, who we are and what we want from writing, we can look at it as an opportunity to fight back and to overcome that obstacle, be it a bad review or a rejection or just a day where the writing isn't coming to you. You have writer's block, the blank page is staring at you, you're frustrated, or you're just not into it. So that's okay too. So I think, it's important to think like that. What do we do? How can we overcome, grow, and win? No, you're not alone. Every single author that's ever been successful in any way, shape, or form, and especially the big guys, they've been rejected 1,000,000 times over. The only difference is they got back up and kept going, and they never stopped. And I think that's the key. It's like you deal with it. It's happening. You feel it. You recognize that you're upset, you're angry, you're frustrated. But you let that be, and then you move on. Be it that day, the next day, the following week, take the time you need, but do keep going, because that's the difference between being successful at this and not. Most people aren't successful because they give up. If you keep going, there's a chance, you have a greater chance of being successful in the way that you define success, whatever that may be. And it's important to know that all of us define it differently. Know what success means to you and keep going with it. And know also that no matter what happens in life, and especially in this writing life, change is a constant. Nothing will ever stay the same. You will change, the world around you will change, your ideas will change, readers will change, Amazon will change, all our platforms will change, publishers will change. It's constantly changing, and these days it's changing at the blink of an eye. So know that it's expected, things will change, and that is stressful sometimes and frustrating. It can also be exciting, because with change comes opportunity, right? And you be prepared for that. Know that so long as you stay steadfast and don't give up on your your dream, you will get to your goal, whatever your goal is. And it might not be overnight. Most success isn't. Most success is like the 20-year success, not the overnight success, because you're hanging in there and you're going through it and you're growing and changing with the obstacles, which there will be obstacles, and they're normal, and they are for everybody, even the big guys. So don't think it, maybe because you aren't where you want to be in this writing life yet, that these obstacles are the end game for you. They're not the end game. They're a stepping stone along the way. You step over them, you keep moving, and you do not look back, right? So no matter how successful you become, there will be ups and downs. And if you put your head down, you do the work, and you persevere in the long haul, you will meet your goals, whatever those goals are. I believe that with all of my heart. And also, really important, expect success. Put it out in the universe. Speak it. Say it. I am a successful author. I am an amazing author. I write amazing stories. Speak it, even if not out loud, to yourself. Give yourself that confidence. Get rid of that inner critic and tell yourself how great you are, because you really are great. And you can, yes, we can always improve and be better, and we will. Those obstacles are going to come for us, and we're going to grow from them. And that's just the way it's going to go, just like in life, right? But if you build yourself up enough and prepare for those, you will be stronger. You will be able to handle them, and you will know that once you've overcome them, when that success comes, you will celebrate it. You will reward yourself, because that is a reward for overcoming your obstacles, getting through those. That's really important to remember. You're going to go, oh my gosh, awesome, published my book. It's on the internet. It's out there. People, can finally see it. They can read my work. Look at all I went through to get there. How amazing. And I will tell you, we've all done a lot of things in life, and we've all overcome a lot of things. Writing a book is really hard. Really hard if you do it well. We all know that, right? Getting noticed, even harder. Making a living, even harder. And so we know how difficult this is. It's a big deal when you get to those milestones. So don't discount them, celebrate them as much as you can, and get ready and strong for the next obstacle that's going to come your way, that down, right, that roller coaster down. And if you can find a way in your mind when you're in the down to experience it, to know that it's temporary, to know that just around the corner is that up, because when you're down, there's nowhere to go but up. Now, this is a mindset. This is a state of mind, a way of being. It's not, you can't control everything that's going to happen in life, right? But you can absolutely control how you react to it. No one is saying you can't be upset, you can't be angry, you can't be frustrated. That is normal, and you should be all those things when these things happen to you. Being positive all the time isn't realistic, but just know when something doesn't go your way, something will go your way. The next thing will go your way. And one thing I believe truly, 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 that if it wasn't meant for you, be it a book contract, be it a 5-star review in a particular book, be it anything, whatever it is you want, if it wasn't meant for you, it won't be yours. But something better is meant for you. There's a reason if it's not coming for you, that one thing you want, because something better is coming. So if something doesn't work out, if you can wrap your mind around it and just say, you know what? It wasn't meant for me. That wasn't for me now, but maybe it will be in the future, or maybe something else will be, because I believe it will. And if we look at things that way, we always know that where there's a down, the up is around the corner. Focus on that up, because it's coming for you. So I hope that helped. I hope it inspired you. I hope that you can take some of these little tidbits and just really get them ingrained in your brain and start changing your mindset, because I'm with you, and I get frustrated and stressed out like the rest of us, and I want to give up and burn my manuscripts and never write again. But I remind myself that, you know what, there's a better thing coming. And I'm in this for a reason. I'm writing stories for a reason, and it brings me joy. And that's what life is all about, those moments that bring you joy. So do what you love, do it to the best of your ability, do it with all of your heart, and just stay positive, because this is your dream and you have to chase it. Do not give up. So those are my final words. Go forth and write the best story you can write and put it out there, because your readers need to read it. So that's it. Christina Rienzi. I'm signing off with Go Indie now, but I hope you have a fabulous day, and I want you to keep writing to the end.